Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today I will be going over my deck list I used to get top 16 in the Atlanta Regional Championships, and also go over my matchups and different things I played against, how I played, things I do differently, cards I consider, stuff like that. So first I'll go ahead here and take a look at the list, and as you can see, so we got the 4 copies of the 80 HP Hoots. The reasoning behind playing all 40 HP when most of the other builds are playing 70s is, one, I didn't feel like the Ditto was that useful in the deck, because retreating into a 2-prizer turn 1 isn't ideal, and it's kind of awkward to do it, whereas something like Terapagos, you really want to get the turn 1 Ogre Pawn to active turn 1. This deck, you're not super inclined to want to push a Terapagos into active right away, which is why I decided to cut the Ditto, and then also go with all of the 40 or 80 HP Hoots. Reasoning behind that is I don't need to play Buddy Poppin' because I have the Trolley in the deck, as you can see. And the 80 HP protects your Hoots from a Dragapult being able to go Hawlucha and then 60 to a Hoodoo and KO it, because a lot of the time, if you're playing 70, they'll go Hawlucha to your Hoodoos, Gust a Hoodoo, kill both your Hoodoots. With this list, they can't do that, which is nice. So, 4 Noctowl, pretty standard, 3 Terapagos, 3 Boufflant, 2 Fanrotom, nothing out of the ordinary there. I am playing the Genesect here, that says, if it has a tool attached, your opponent can't play any A-Specs from their hand. So this stops stuff like E-Search Pro and Goldango, stuff like Unfair Stamp and Dragapult, which is a big weakness for this deck, is getting stamped really early on and not being able to recover from that. But if you can get the Genesect down, they can't stamp you. And another card I play that combos with the Genesect is the Brock Scouting. That says you can search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon or 1 evolution Pokemon and put them into your hand. This card is pretty mid overall, but it's really good against stuff like Gardevoir and Dragapult, because they will go Itchy Paw on you turn 1, turn 2, and kind of need a way to find basic Pokemon that is a supporter, because you obviously can't play your Precious Trolley, can't play any Nest Balls or Ultra Balls, so being able to just Brock, you can get your Genesect out, attach a Bravery Charm to it, it's pretty nice, and then take a KO on them and prevent yourself from getting Unfair Stamped. It's pretty nice. And against the Dragapult decks that opt to be playing the Sparkling Crystal, the Genesect doesn't shut off the crystal while it's attached, but if you can get the Genesect down before they can attach the crystal, they will not be able to do that. And that actually came up during one of my games, and I will talk about it later. Another card that isn't too popular in these Terapagos Boufflant decks is the Muriax. I felt this card was really good in the deck, because a lot of decks like Dragapult, Guardy, they'll try and play around your Fez. So if you can have that late game restart, sometimes those 2-3 cards are all you need to close out the game. Just extra consistency, it's pretty easy to find the Trolley, and 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. Latias, obviously the cornerstone, is really good in this deck against stuff like Goldango, and any Walls deck, cornerstone is the answer for that. And also could be good against Archaludon, although I didn't play against any, but in my testing, it was pretty good against him. We got the 1 Monkey Dorian here. A lot of the other lists are playing 2 monkeys, but I found 1 to be okay, because it's pretty hard to set up 2 monkey in a game. Your bench is pretty tight, you have lots of stuff you want on your bench, so getting 2 monkeys on your board is kind of awkward, and also getting those attachments on there is pretty hard. But being able to Monkey Dory twice in this deck is possible with a penny, because you can go attach a Dark Monkey, and then next turn you can go Monkey, Penny the Monkey Dory, and then Adrenabrain again. So that sort of acts as your second Monkey Dory in a way. We have the Lily's Clefairy here too. Really good against Dragapult mainly. Also just a pretty good attacker in general. You know, we fill our bench to 8. Your opponent has 4 to 5 bench Pokemon. Fairy will be hitting pretty big numbers. Fez, obviously, we have 2 Crispin here. Some lists are playing 3. I found 2 to be pretty fine. I didn't really wish to be playing a 3rd. Only time I'd want a 3rd is if I prize one. But other than that, pretty fine. We have 2 Iono, really good. 2 Boss. The Brock I already talked about. And then I have the 1 Turo, 1 Penny. Since I'm playing the Precious Trolley in my deck, I don't have the Scoop Up Cyclone as an option to heal, which is why I added the Penny in the deck to have 2 different heal options, which is pretty nice since when you play Penny, you can pick up a Bravery Charm on something and you don't have to discard it, whereas the Turo would. The Turo is a really good heal card, obviously, but it's also really good to reset your Noctowls. A lot of the time, I will go Noctowl for like a Bravery Charm or like a Counter Catcher, anything I need, and then if I don't need a second card off of it, I'll just grab a Turo, pick up my Noctowl, bench the Hoodoo down again, and then just have a Noctowl I can use for next turn, which is pretty good. 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. The Trolley in here, I think the Trolley is really good in this deck. It's just, you know, you need 2 Bouffalantes down, and there's a lot, like, you normally want to, like, fan call for, like, 2 Hoodoo and a Noctowl, or, like, Hoodoo double Noctowl. It depends on the board. It's really awkward to fan call for Bouffalantes, because then you don't have as many Hoodoos and Noctowls to work with. But with this build, you can go fan call, double Hoodoo, Noctowl. Next turn, just go Noctowl for Trolley, Area 0, or if you have the Area 0, you can go Trolley, Crispin, and that can get your Latias down. Really good synergy with the Genesect too, get your Bouffalantes down. It felt really good. We have the 1 Vessel, 1 Stretcher. 1 Stretcher felt like a little low sometimes, but usually if you play carefully, the 1 Stretcher is usually all you need. We have the 1 Trumpet in here. I was considering playing a... Okay. My internet went out for a bit, but we're back. Put this back up. I think I was just talking about the Trumpet wanting to go up to 2, but as long as you don't prize the 1 Trumpet, it's usually enough. Just want to try and use it once you got 2 Terapagos down, be able to accelerate energy to both of them, get the max value out of it if you can. The 1 E-Switch is really good, really sucks if you prize it, but some games you don't need it. It's really good to like E-Switch to your Monkey. Like a lot of times you'll want to Crispin and get Dark Energies in play on your Terapagoses so you can later in the game E-Switch it to your Monkey if you need, and not have to attach return or have to find the energy. And then also being able to E-Switch to the Clefairy against Dragapult is really good. Allows you to play a different supporter for turn. 1 Counter Catcher, pretty straightforward. We have the 3 Bravery Charm in the deck, which is pretty out of the ordinary. I was already playing 2 in the list, and then with the Genesect, if you're only playing 2, you have to put the Charm on the Genesect, which only leaves you with 1 charm left for the rest of the game. And against a lot of things like Dragapult, Guardy, you want to be charming lots of Pokemon. So with the 3 charm, you can just slam it on the Genesect and still have more charms left over to work with. And also 3 charm is just really good in general. Like against stuff like Dragapult, you want to charm your Clefairy, you want to charm your Terapagoses, you want to charm Genesect. So 3 charm felt really good. You draw into them easier. Yeah, 3 Area 0 is pretty normal. Then I played 3 Psychic, 3 Dark, 2 Fighting. A lot of lists are playing like 4 dark, 3 psychic, 2 fighting, but with this list there's only 1 monkey. I don't really need 4 dark energy, and the 8 energy just felt like plenty, so I wouldn't really go up with the energy. And right now there's a couple things that I'm considering in the list, like going down a charm, adding a counter gain, and then going down to the 7 energies, cutting a psychic. The idea behind that is, since I'm adding the counter gain to the deck, I could cut an energy, and then the counter gain would be another tool I can use, the Genesect. And then I'd add something like either like a research or a black belt, or there's another card I was considering. What was it? I don't know. Those are like the 2 main ones that I was considering. Also a 3rd Phanradom, which seems kind of silly, but you really want to open with a Phanradom in your hand, so I think that would be another card I'd consider if I wanted to make a change like that. But right now, this list has felt pretty solid, and I haven't made any changes with it since. Just only like thoughts of what I'd change, but yeah, besides that, the list felt pretty good. Now I will go over my matchups. Let's go to your dashboard, history, so round 1 I played against, actually hold on, let's go to slabs. Okay, this should be better. This is Limitless Labs. This will show me my everything I played against, which is nice. So round 1, I lost to Marcos Gonzalez playing Goldango. Low-key, I was kind of throwing this match, and I hadn't tested this matchup that much before the tournament. Kind of was just figuring it out as I went, and there was a couple misplays I remember. I don't exactly remember what they were, but I do remember I kind of just like ran out of resources in the end of the game and wasn't able to close it out. Also, his list was he's playing the Dunsparce, so he has the Dunsparce EX in here that says does 60 for each of my EXs in play. So the goal with my list against this deck would be to sit with the Cornerstone inactive and attach a Bravery Charm to the Cornerstone and try to not have any EXs on my bench so that the Dunsparce is only hitting for 60 damage. And then he had the Monkey Dory in the deck and the Baby Goldango, and also he was playing a Vengeful Punch and a Jamming Tower. And it was kind of awkward because I like punched into the Dunsparce with the Cornerstone, and then he was able to hit me for 120 since I had a Latias on my bench because I had to retreat into the Cornerstone, which was awkward. And so he hit me for 120, and then I punched him back, and I had the Bravery Charm on him. And he was able to go Monkey, heal his Dunsparce, and then Jamming Tower my Bravery Charm. And then I think I pennied up my Latias. So let me think. Yeah. I pennied up my Latias so that his Dunsparce would only hit me for 60. And then he went Monkey, move 3 to my active, and then Jamming Tower, and then KO my Cornerstone. And I just wasn't able to win from there. Like, Goldango has 260, that's a really awkward number for my deck. So, yeah. And then game 2, he was able to win that one again. I think I had a pretty slow start. I can't really remember my second game that much. And then round 2, I played against Hannah with Raging Bolt. I remember I 2-0'd. This matchup is pretty favored, I would say, because you want to, like, as long as you open a 1-prizer, you kind of just sit there. Like, even if you have a nest ball for a Terapagos, you don't want to do that right away. You want to just wait for them to take the first KO, and then you want to go Noctowl for Trolley Crispin, and then, like, if they have a Raging Bolt inactive, you can just, like, Clefairy KO, like, because your Trolley will be finding you your Latias plus your Clefairy plus everything you need, like Fez, Latias, you know. So yeah, they usually just take the first 1-prize KO, and then you can just go 2-2 from there. Yeah, both games kind of went like that. I think game 1 I had a little bit of a slow start. I like opened Genesect, and I like attached Bravery Charm to it, and then I gusted her Noctowl, and then she went second Noctowl for Prime Catcher, and then she realized that she couldn't play the Prime Catcher because of my Genesect, and she just had to pass. And then I eventually top decked the Nest Ball and was able to set up from there and win. Game 2 was pretty smooth sailing. And then round 3 I played against Christopher Kemp, which I 2-0'd. It was Frostlass Monkey Dory. This matchup terrified me. I didn't even know he was playing a Ting Lu EX until I checked afterwards. I never saw that thing. But, yeah. I play all 80 HP Hoodoos, which have abilities, which is really annoying against the Frostlass deck. So I was terrified. I thought I was going to lose this one for sure. But game 1, it kind of had a slow start, and I just, like, got Monkey Dory down, kind of limited my bench a bit, and just was just taking knockouts every turn, and he just wasn't able to just win in time before I take all 6 of my prizes. Game 2, though, I had a board state where I had, like, a Noctowl and a Monkey Dory on bench, and the Monkey had a Charm on it, and it had, like, 140 on it. And then I had a Noctowl with 90 on it. And I attacked and went down to 1 prize, and if he just went Blood Moon, my active Terapagos, both of my Monkey and my Frostlass would die, or not my Frostlass, my Monkey and my Noctowl would die to the Frostlass, and then the Blood Moon KOs my active, and then he would take 4 prizes and win. But he didn't see that, and he tried to go for a Maractus play. He went, like, Gust on my Noctowl, I believe, and then, like, Iono'd me. He also played out an Artisan, which is good because I just discarded the Noctowl and the Monkey, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then he whiffed the energy for the Maractus and then scooped. So, and then after the game, he mentioned that he should have went for the Blood Moon play, and I agreed. But yeah, sometimes that just happens. And then I beat a Terapagos. This matchup I think is pretty favorable, because if you're able to get your Boufflance down, the Torrential Pump can't KO 2 Pokemon essentially, and then also the Pikachu can never KO you if you have a Bravery Charm on your Terapagos. The only thing you have to worry about is if you fully bench, like if I have 8 on my bench and they have 8 on their bench, the Clefairy will exactly KO my Terapagos even with the Charm. So that's something you should be worried about against this and also the Mirror matchup. Sometimes it's okay to just have 8 bench Pokemon, like if you're going to win anyways, but that is something to be worried about. I believe I played against like 2 Teraboxes in a row. This one, I won game 1. Game 2, I kind of had a slow start, and he was able to take 2 prizes early, and then was able to close it off with Blood Moon and a Gust. And then game 3, I just, set up well, got my Boufflance down, and just taking prizes, and won that one. Let's see. I'm going to close Arcanine, I don't need to use that anymore. And then I played against Isaac Chance, which is another Terrabox, and I 2-0'd, I believe. I just set up well. He wasn't able to do much. Like game 2, I think he was like draw passing with no Terra down, and he made a couple like questionable things during the sets that I didn't exactly agree with. But you know, I think even if they play perfectly, this matchup's pretty rough for them. So you know, we take those. See, after Isaac, I played against Richard Friere with Charizard knocked out. Well, this was a really close set. I was not expecting to play against one of these. I was able to game 1, he set up pretty well, but he didn't get the Pidgeot down, and so I was able to kind of stick him with an Iono late game. I like 2-shot a Zard, and then like Iono KO'd a Zard, and I think that was his only Terra out. So I like Iona'd him to 3, and he just like didn't have a board set up after that and couldn't knock out because he had no Terra in play. Game 2, I like bricked pretty bad. I had to like go like Ultra Ball. I like open Monkey, and then I had Clefairy and Mew. I went like attached to the Clefairy, Ultra. I don't even know if it was Ultra Ball. Anyways, I like played down my hand. I had to Turo the Monkey and then rebench the Monkey just to restart for 1, and then that didn't get me anything, and I just slowly lost from there. He was able to set up a Pidgeot. He had like double Duskull down and a Zard, and I just scooped pretty fast. And then game 3 was pretty close. I was on the edge of my seat. I was able to. He was at 3 prizes, and I was at 3. And I prized my Glass Trumpet, and I needed to KO his active Terapagos, because that shuts off Briar, that shuts off Dusknoir, and he would have no way to win the game on the next turn. And then I'd be able to close it off with Boss and a 1-prizer. And I had no energy on my Terapagos. And I believe I wasn't able. And if I got Crispin, I wouldn't have had enough bench Pokemon to KO the Terapagos. So I had to go Noctowl for E-Switch Iono, E-Switch to the Terapagos, and then off of the Iono, I would have needed a basic Pokemon and an energy. And I drew into, I believe, Earthen Vessel and a Nest Ball, which just got me like exactly what I needed. And then next turn I was just able to win the game. He scooped. And yeah, that was the set. And then round 7 I played against Nico Gist, or Gist, I don't know how to pronounce it. He was a pretty chill opponent. Yeah, I 2-0'd. I just, started swinging with Vanrotom, Terapagos. Usually these decks or the Dragapult decks are pretty slow, so you can usually take 2 knockouts before they attack once. And yeah, it's hard to remember exactly how the games went. But I remember putting the Charm on the Clefairy is really good in this matchup, because they can't KO the Clefairy with Phantom Dive unless they like Dusknoir or Dusclops. So, I don't know, there's lots of annoying things in my list for this deck. Another thing I'll note is I don't think it's correct to put Boufflance down in this matchup because of bench space. Because you want to get the Genesect down to prevent its Unfair Stamp, because that's what I'm blind. I'm expecting Dragapult to be playing Unfair Stamp. But yeah, he was playing Crystal, which was still annoying for him because I got the Genesect down, KO'd, and then he wasn't able to attack because I shut off the Crystal, which was pretty sick. And another thing about the not benching Boufflance, the one way to lose this matchup is just getting bricked off of Iono or Stamp. So the Boufflance make that awkward because they take up bench space. Because there's like lots of things you want on your bench. You want the Genesect, you want the Monkey, you want Latias down, and you want like Mew down, Fez down, stuff to prevent you from Iono. Usually you want like Terapagos or 2. So yeah, it's just kind of awkward to fit the Boufflance on the bench, in my experience. But with the 3 Charm, if you Charm a Terapagos and they punch into it for 200, the Terapagos will have 80 left, and they can't Phantom Dive clean that up, which is really nice. So that forces them to have to go like Dusclops or Dusknoir, and every time they, do that, you're just getting prizes, and it's not like they kind of are forced to use Dusknoir and Dusclops to be able to do anything meaningful. So yeah, I think the matchup it's pretty close. It's definitely a losable matchup, but I think with my list, it's definitely pretty solid. And then round 8, I played against Grant Manley, playing Goldango Dragapult. I originally didn't know he was playing the Dragapult, game 1. And then, let's see. The Vengeful Punch was annoying. I think I misread the card, and I attacked into a Goldango, and I just put 40 on myself, and he's like, sadly the card's not that good. And then I had to reread it and read that it's only if it's knocked out. So I was thinking of Rocky Helmet. Anyways, this matchup I don't think is that great, because you can't just kind of sit there with a Cornerstone, because eventually he can attack the Cornerstone with the Dragapult. And game 1, I believe I prized my Cornerstone, so I couldn't even go for that if I wanted to. So the backup plan, like if you can't go for a Cornerstone, is just to like get your Boufflance down, get that Genesect down before they can E-Search Pro, and just start swinging and hope they just won't be able to knock anything out, because shutting off the E-Search Pro is pretty good. But yeah, I got 2-0 there. Even though I got 2-0, the games were pretty close. Like, I wouldn't say I just got, like, farmed. But, yeah. I lost to Grant. And then I ID'd round 9 with the Dragapult. I was really debating taking the ID or playing it out, and I decided to take the ID because I didn't want to fly all the way there just to lose the last round and not make day 2. I would really beat myself up over that. But I sort of regretted taking the ID after going 4-0 in day 2, because if I won that last round instead of IDing and then won all 4 in day 2, I would have been in top cut. But I'm still happy with the top 16, so not too worried about that. Round 10, I played against William, playing Terapagos. I just was able to, get the Boufflance down. Nothing. Oh, what the? There's no Pikachu EX in this deck. And there's. What are we attacking with? Okay. No Pikachu. Only one Ogerpon. Interesting. Yeah. Only attackers can't really do anything meaningful, so yeah, I had 2-0 there. And then I played against Jacob Peltier, I don't know how to pronounce that, playing the Enzoric. This deck I wasn't really expecting to play against, especially in day 2. I didn't think I'd really see one, but he played pretty good. Game 1, he kind of had a slow start, and I got my Cornerstone active and just started attacking with Cornerstone. I think I KO'd his only Zorua with Cornerstone, and I was just able to win through there. They don't really have a great answer for Cornerstone besides Reversal Energy on the Darmanitan and like Defiance Band to 2-shot it, but that's kind of awkward. So Cornerstone is really good against him. Game 2, I kind of threw because I went like Knocked Owl for a Night Stretcher, because I wanted to Night Stretcher, get my Monkey Dory back so I can move 3 and KO his Budew. But then I forgot that he just Itchy Balled me last turn, so I just kind of knocked out for no reason. And then he Iono'd the Night Stretcher to the bottom of my deck, and I was kind of screwed there. Didn't really have much next turn, and then he was able to gust my Pheasantipity and KO it for game. But then game 3, I just set up Cornerstone again and was able to win from there. And then round 12, I played a mirror match. I actually didn't know what ace spec he was playing until just now, because he wasn't able to use it because I put my Genesect down. But yeah, in the mirror match, it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of like two prizers you just can't really bench because they'll just get chased with Terapagos. So like, if you do bench Fez, you need to like Bravery Charm it and like, Charm Latias. But then if you Charm Latias, you can't Charm your Terapagos. It's really awkward. The Clefairy can KO if you both have full bench, so that's something to worry about. The Genesect really good because Prime is a good card and they can't play it. So yeah, game 1 I was able to just kind of tank and heal, and then I was able to. He had like damage on his Terapagos, and he was at 3, and I went Iono, KO is only Terapagos, and then he wasn't able to recover from that. He like had to bench Fez, and then that didn't really get him much, and then I just boss Fez per game. And then game 2, I went like Iono, and I kind of just Iono'd him into a dead hand, and I just won from there. And then round 13, I played against Goldango. This list has a Rocky Helmet, the Dunsparce EX, kind of similar to the deck I played against round 1. I think I definitely played way better this time. I kind of just sat there with a Cornerstone. I had no EXs on my bench. Oh, this is game 2. Game 1, I won because he just bricked and like attached to Fez, and then I just KO'd the Fez and won. But then game 2, I like sat there with a lone Cornerstone, and I took all 6 with just the Cornerstone, because the Dodon only hits for 60, and then you can see he just plays the one strike it rich Goldango. He said he kind of misplayed because he like evolved into all Goldango EXs and wasn't able to get the baby Goldango out. So yeah, he was only hitting for 60 with the Dunsparce because I only had the lone Cornerstone, and then I can like monkey 3 off and then 2-shot the Dunsparce, and yeah, I just basically just cleared his whole board with the Cornerstone. But yeah, I think that this matchup is still kind of fine. Even with the baby Goldango, it's kind of hard to like chain the baby Goldango. Honestly, considering adding a second Cornerstone just for this matchup, just so you can like easily get into a second one, but I don't know. But yeah, that will be my tournament run. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope I will see you next time.